Welcome back to the Sun and Moon Tarot. Today we will find what is good and what is hidden. I hope you're well and staying blessed, enjoying life wherever you are. This is a fire sign read for Cancer season. If you have Leo, Aries, or Sagittarius highly aspected, this read is likely for you. If you'd like to book with me, you can do so at the email listed in the description box. Excuse me. We'll be using the Rider-Waite Tarot deck today for the general reads. They are general, not personal, so take it as it applies. Don't make it resonate. We're also going to be doing, I'm going to use the Dreams of Gaia tarot deck for our secondary kind of like guides, although you'll still get the full pull from the Rider-Waite deck. Just having some fun with the layouts this summer. Okay. So fire signs, I hope you're well. I hope you're blessed. I hope you're enjoying life. I hope you're being great leaders somehow, some way. I know you can find it. We've got the Three of Cups and the Hangman coming out so far. Virgos could be of significance. Five of Pentacles, Three of Wands, Five of Wands, the Moon, the Knight of Wands, the Death card. I need 3 to 4 more maximum, please. Oh, fire signs. You do have yours. Give me one that's the Hermit. So that's what, a Virgo or my brain's not working on that right now. We're gonna just say Virgo or Scorpio. There's another sign that could be of significance, and for some reason it's not popping into my brain. So I don't know if that matters to somebody. One clarification card. Well, that's way too many. Way too many. Okay, I'm so sorry, but we're just gonna have to, that's like 6 cards, and I already have 1 clarifying card. I like a maximum of 2. That's 2. We're good. Okay, guys, you got your clarifying cards. I think it's hilarious that you do have the King of Wands at the bottom of the deck for your fire read. Dink, dink. So, the King of Fire is the overall energy for our read. If you are new to my channel and you do not already know, the bottom of the deck for the Rider-Waite holds the overall energy or the theme for your monthly experience. They are timeless if you wish them to be. If you feel called to watch them at a random time, but these are your Cancer reads. The first row will be your recent past. The second row will be your current energy. The third row will be your future. I'm going to just kind of fix up my layout just a tiny bit before we start your read. Okay, fire signs, that's where we're at. I don't hate it. I hope you like the layout. Now, yeah, that's where we're at. We'll do your clarifying cards. I'll flip them at the end, and then we'll grab. I mean, if you want right now, we can. No, I'm gonna get the Dream of Gaia probably later or during the read. So, King of Wands, King of Fire, your king, of course. He is the overall energy. He often represents a passionate, creative energy because he is the King of Fire. I feel like that's a super obvious comment, but if you're not an alchemist, it's not. Big picture, leader, overcoming challenges is the definition for the King of Wands. Lou, please stop. Baby girl. Quiet. Sorry, excuse me. So yeah, you're during Cancer season, or when you watch this, you're likely going to be focused on that, right? The theme for your experience will literally be you being, it's funny that I said that, hopefully being good leaders at the beginning of the read, and you did get the King of Wands at the bottom of the deck. That's hilarious. All right, I'm gonna keep chuckling about that probably your whole read. Anyway, it's super funny. So this whole experience, like in the third dimension in your vessel, you're going to be really like focused on overcoming any personal challenges. You're going to want to be the leader in any challenges that appear in your environment or in your different environments that you experience. And then also you're going to be very focused on the big picture of your life in terms of how you are able to create in said life. Okay, fire signs. I like it. I think I know someone specific that I'm picking up on, and I'm really digging that I finally cleared out your energy. Thank God. Okay, back on track. The Three of Cups, the Hangman, the Five of Pentacles. The Three of Cups is going to represent a community celebration. It's water, it's emotional energy, but it's that of a positive interaction usually. It is friendship, community. It is often happiness, sometimes celebration. But the Hangman is an interesting card to appear afterwards. It is the spirit card that represents, or the etherical card, right? In terms of elemental energy. Excuse me. The Hangman is going to be a representation of the sacrifice, sometimes suspension and release, sometimes also martyrdom, if you're experiencing that. You do unfortunately have the Five of Pentacles following this card, so let's talk about that. By definition, the Five of Pentacles is often loss. It's need. Sometimes it's poverty, sometimes it's insecurity, often it's low resources of some sort or of a multitude. The Five of Pentacles, of course, can vary, just like any other card. It's going to depend on what you're experiencing in your life, but likely it's a representation of the recent past, experiencing some form of low income and likely having to potentially kind of create friendship and community to overcome that, and martyr some form of. That's a really interesting point, but you might have had to like network basically to overcome loss. And I don't mean that in a way where I'm trying to say that you're being manipulative. I mean that in a way that you're trying to overcome challenges, not just for yourself, but also others. Okay? Excuse me. So this is bringing on. So ultimately, it would be the experience of you having a form of loss that forces you into a place of connection that you didn't necessarily see yourself choosing before, and it's something that you potentially view as full on as a sacrifice, literally. But you have to carry on, right? So you're going to do so, fire signs. In the current energy, you do have the Three of Wands, the Five of Wands, and the Moon card. I don't know if any of the viewers already picked up on this, but I actually genuinely didn't until just now. But you will legitimately have the same lineup in your first two rows, being a 3, a 5, and a Spirit card. They are different elements, of course, if you've noticed. Yeah, so use the same deck, but it is interesting that you have a 33 and a 55 appearing, and also a double etherical card. Of course, you have two etherical cards or spirit cards, major arcanas if you're like new to tarot, at the bottom of the row here for your future, but we'll get into that in a minute. The Three of Wands, the Five of Wands, and the Moon card, coupled of course still with the King of Wands, so still focusing on being a leader, right? Still being that it's in the upright, you know, like you're supposed to be appearing not as impulsive or overbearing or having impossible expectations. The King of Wands upright rather than in reverse is always a representation of very good leadership, which most fire signs, as long as they're grounded in the proper way, are typically very good leaders. It just, if you're not grounded properly, you're going to become what the reverse, or that what is it, the adverse definition. I feel like I'm using the incorrect word. I'm so sorry. Bear with me. But ultimately, the reversal card rather than the upright card would be different. And you are appearing upright. That's what matters. Is regardless of you experiencing some form of compromise and there being kind of illusions that you can't control in the current energy, because it is Cancer season, right? I know the Moon card for a lot of readers is going to, is often going to be a representation of Pisces in terms of zodiacal signs, but I often find that it represents Cancer or Pisces, and that's just a personal thing for me. And to be clear, this is literally your Cancer read, so it is interesting that the Moon card is in your current row. And if you care about the like seasonal timing, excuse me. Okay, so it's also very interesting that this entire row, because your overall energy is fire in spirit. So whatever in the current energy fire science, if you're coming to this read and you're thinking, you know, I am overcoming a lot of challenges, please stay. The Three of Wands is going to be a representation of looking ahead, expansion, and rapid growth. It's quick, creative, passionate energy. And I mean that and not in a artistic way. I mean that in a fiery, alchemical way. Fire literally represents creative passion, so that means that you're literally able to create different things and expand where you direct that energy. So please understand that's what I'm saying. You're overcoming challenges by expansion. Like focusing your energy on anything that you can to create different forms of growth in your life. Of course, the hidden worry. I mentioned the moon card. So the moon card is a major arcana. And if you are familiar with my channel, you know that the sun and moon cards are my favorite cards. And the moon does represent everything that is hidden. It's unconscious thoughts, it's illusion, it's intuition, it's unclarity. With the Five of Wands, you have competition, conflict, and it's often also a definition card of current reality. So it's super funny that it's in your current row, and the Cancer reference that we already said, because it's Cancer season, if you're watching it at that point in time. Anyway, I always like to see what's, never mind, this doesn't matter. Okay, spin off, back on track. So while you're focused on expansion and you have that doubling energy of growth, there's going to be hidden competition and conflicts, basically, that you're not going to see coming, that you will overcome. I don't mean that as a way, as a like comment to try to make you feel weary or like you can't do it. You absolutely can do it. It's just something that you want to be aware of, right? There are going to be hidden things that you might not have necessarily seen coming while you're trying to create these new like explosive growth cycles. Okay, so quick growth cycles is what I mean by that. In any dimension of your life, there will be competition and it will be hidden, and you will have to be kind of just aware of that. And I don't mean to say to go with the flow per se, but do your best to recognize that during Cancer season, or when you feel called to watch this, that energy is likely present for you, and just maneuver around it. You got this. So then in the future, you do have the Knight of Wands, the Death card, and the Hermit. Sorry. Okay. The Knight of Wands is a court card of fire, representing action, adventure, and fearlessness. When I do reference the elements, I am trying to make sure that you do understand that because it's a fire card, it represents the definition that I'm giving you. But also, again, it's got that background energy of creative passion. Does that make sense? I hope it does. I'm realizing more and more as I talk on my channel that a lot of people don't actually understand alchemy. So I'm trying to be very clear because I'd like to teach you. Anyway. So again, continue with that fire, and then ether, or spirit, right? So this is, of course, major arcana rather than minor, and it is considered definite energy, if you care about that. So the Death card is going to be new beginnings. It can always be a literal death with the ending of cycles and new beginnings, or change or metamorphosis, really. The butterfly tail, right, with the caterpillar turning to a butterfly, metamorphosis. Oh, the Hermit. Excuse me. The Hermit is an interesting card as well to follow, because it's going to represent you having to kind of go within through a new beginning that you're creating ultimately in the future. by definition, it's contemplation, solitude, insight, and awareness. Becoming very clear through the change, right? That butterfly tail. As you go through the change in the current or in the future, it's going to bring you awareness. You're going to be excited still, fire signs. You're still going to love life. You're still going to enjoy it. It's still going to be fun for you. It's going to be adventure. You're going to be fearless per usual. You'll be back to your normal self. Things will bounce back. You'll be okay. And new beginnings will be had. And you'll enjoy it. It'll go really well for you. I am going to grab your clarifying cards. You have 3. You have the 2 of Wands, the Strength card, and the 6 of Pentacles. Interesting. So whatever you're trying to build in the future, it's going to be, I know that with the 3 of Wands, you'll be looking ahead, expansion, rapid growth, right? You'll be it's definitely the energy after this, the 2 of Wands. There might be some form of, I'm not trying to judge anybody that goes through anything, and like, you have to be compassionate with yourself, okay? But like, you might have to leave a situation, and like, there, with your planning, it might lead to you leaving like a home situation. I actually don't know who that would apply to. That is for a different viewer that I'm not like directly connected to. But the 2 of Wands is specifically someone like literally leaving home, making decisions to do so, and planning ahead to do so, and doing it in a very creative, excited way. The Strength card is, I know I said self-compassion, but it's like, what I mean that is, it is a compassion card for others as well, not just yourself. But it's conviction, inner strength to have. When you have conviction and you have inner strength combined, you have self-compassion, right? And when you also couple that with courage, with the Strength card, so it's being self-aware. It's being, after the Hermit card, right? It's becoming very aware to changes that needed to happen. I'm trying to be very delicate with my words and kind, because I want you to grow and be happy. Truly. Please hear me. Like, I really want you to be happy. I want you to grow and be happy and do your thing with people that want similar things as you. Truly. And I hope that everything changes. I hope that the metamorphosis that you need appears, that you get the insight and the awareness from that change, that you're able to make the plans that you want to make, to leave home if that's the case, or to like do whatever you want so that you can have more self-compassion, okay? Because there's a level of needing to be generous with yourself and others with that 6 of Pentacles. I know I often on my channel I mention how a lot of readers call it the breadcrumbing card. It's charity, it's generosity, it's sharing, like, by definition, right? Now, by a card, in terms of, remember we were talking about elemental or alchemical energy earlier, I talked about fire a lot. Well, when it comes to earth, you're talking about the 3rd dimension and how energy is able to move quickly, typically quickly, in the 3rd dimension. And people might think, well, that's not very super definite. Okay, well, water is completely just about emotional energy. Fire is about creative, passionate energy. Air is about logic and the energy of the mind. Earth is about the literal physical realm that you're experiencing and how it can move and why. So when you have the 6 of Pentacles, it does matter that it's an earth card. It does matter when people call it a breadcrumbing card. Because if I'm really honest with you, fire signs, I could say this right here doesn't even look like clarification road. This looks like somebody like being told, you need to be, oh my God, I cannot believe I'm saying this. And I don't mean this in a like way where I'm talking down to you. I mean this in a way that is said out of complete like love. you might need to not breadcrumb yourself with like self-compassion as you go through some like major changes. Like this, that's literally like, don't breadcrumb yourself like with your own compassion. You need to be compassionate with yourself through these changes and these growth cycles, and it will go really well for you. That alone will do you wonders, and it will enable you to be compassionate with others where you can, right? So I did say I was going to pull from the Dreams of Gaia tarot deck, and I am going to. Oh, wow, I don't know what this card is, but I like it. Perception. And so what I'm going to say with this card while you look at the beautiful artwork is that it's all in your mind. Like every single motherfucking thing, excuse me, I know I'm not supposed to curse on YouTube. Everything that you experience in life is about your mind's perception, right? So remember how I said, like, you might be guilty with this clarification section of like, this isn't about how you treat others, it's how you treat yourself, with self-compassion and potentially not breadcrumbing there. Like, again, with perception, the human mind can change its experience based on like how it literally perceives its experience and its environment. With if you start to study alchemy, and like if you want to book with me, I'll ultimately teach you more, but you can research this stuff on your own also if you don't want to book with me. So it's really not that, like, you don't have to book with me, it's really okay. But I mean, I don't mind teaching you, but if you want to research this stuff, do. Perception is everything, and when you're making plans, especially creative ones, you have to be self-compassionate and you have to be generous with yourself. You also are going to want to be able to be generous with others and compassionate with others, but not to a point that it creates loss. And that's what I mean by perception, is ultimately making sure that your cup, if you want to make sure that you're not building like toxic relationships in the future, making sure that your cup is filled and that you're the one doing it, so that you have a good perception of what's going on around you, and you're clearer and more grounded as a fire sign, so that you are able to be more of a leader and overcome any challenges, regardless of whatever hidden competition there is that we referenced earlier. You're in terms of perceptive mind, you're still going to be able to create new ways of positive, passionate change if you stay grounded and compassionate with yourself. And it's going to lead to your perception being grounded in a way that you'll be able to, if you believe in connection with your higher self, you'll be able to kind of see the path that you need to take a little bit more seriously. If you follow that kind of route, that's the advice. If this is even going to apply for you, if you would like to book with me, because this read is like really deep, you can add it in the email. But otherwise, I hope you all have a great season, and I hope you enjoyed the read and content. Fire signs, see you in the next season. It should be actually happy like pre-Leo birthday season. Yay! We're almost there. You're almost there. You'll enjoy. I hope you enjoy Cancer season, even though the read seems a bit like there's a lot of needed changes. And you got this. Don't worry. Okay, I'll see you in the next read. Bye.